Hi, so a little more from me on what my experiences at the Integrated and Personalised Health Congress that I've just been attending in London. Actually, it was over 3 days. I was only able to go the first day. First day was on, kind of general approach to health. Second day is on looking for more holistic or what they call integrated approach, which means looking at the body, exercise, food, emotions, mind, and spirit, approaches to emotional mental health problems. And the third day, today, Saturday, is more on food, which I couldn't attend because we've got our garden party here today. So, a couple of thousand delegates in the Queen Elizabeth Hall in London, which I haven't been to before, just enormous. And I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. Organised by the College of Medicine and Integrated Healthcare, a group of doctors um, um, who are trying to bring a more integrated, holistic approach into healthcare. Sorry about the phone. That's going to shut up in a minute. And really wide range of talks, starting off with looking at chronic disease, looking at the chronic degenerative diseases of diabetes, heart disease, dementia, and also cancer. All of these Western medicine is now realizing are primarily caused by diet and lifestyle, poor diet, eating a lot of ultra-processed foods, not eating whole foods, and lack of exercise, lack of social support, and so on. The pharmaceutical companies keep trying to create pills for everything. They will never create a pill just for dementia. They don't have a pill which somehow heals diabetes, and they never will. And these chronic diseases need a complementary approach, not only to help the disease, but to help prevent them in the first place. So, a very good presenter from America on reversing chronic disease, talking about how to reverse the possibilities of reversing diabetes. Amazing! Macrobiotics. We've been doing this. I remember learning about this in the 1980s. Western medicine is now realizing that, particularly when people first develop diabetes in the first year or two, there's a very good chance of reversing it completely through changes in diet, exercise, etc. They're getting that. A lot of talk about the crisis in the health system, an awful lot of burnt out doctors, nurses, and not only burnt out from overwork, but just disillusioned with just sticking elastoplasts on illness the whole time and not really getting to the bottom of what's going on with people. Fantastic. A lot of them are either wanting to change career, go and do something else, or find a way of making their medical practice much more satisfying. And there's some recent approaches run by doctors, primarily. Integrated medicine, there's a College of Integrated Medicine in Bristol, functional medicine courses, even looking at how they can give more holistic help within a 10-minute appointment, which is the time which they're given to help people, which of course is not enough in an awful lot of cases. But interesting, they're even looking at how they can give them holistic help within that space of time. The College of Medicine has created some good initiatives. One is in social prescribing, having link workers in every GP practice who can link people to ways of helping themselves through exercise, changes in food, meditation, mindfulness practices, etc., etc. Helping with housing, and also getting health coaches into GP practices. Not so much to give detailed dietary advice, but more to support people in making changes. So amazing that they're really recognising the the value of health coaches, of people needing coaching on how to eat, live, exercise more healthily. So fantastic. So it feels like there really is the beginning of some healthy shifts happening. What else? College of Medicine has also started the Food for Mood series, looking at how food affects, is contributing to anxiety, depression, and mental health problems. The whole conference is really drawing attention to not only do we have a physical health crisis going on, we've gone from 1 in 10 people developing cancer to 1 in 4, and now it's 1 in 2. When I started macrobiotics in 1980, it was about 1 in 4 people in developed countries developed cancer. Now it's 1 in 2. We also have a mental health crisis going on with rapidly increasing rates of anxiety, depression, mental illness, suicide, addiction in America, especially addiction to opioids, very strong painkillers, suicides, etc. We also have a mental health problem. Very interesting talk by an American, well-known American who I hadn't heard of before actually, Dr. Robert Lustig. He's written some books, very well-selling books, and amazing overview. It reminded me of listening to Michio Kushi, just really taking the broad view of what's going on in society. And he said, he produced a lot of statistics and medical information, and said that he reckons that the main cause of both the physical and mental health problems are primarily ultra-processed foods. These are foods high in sugars, high in chemicals, high in very cheap fats, which give a very quick stimulus, but create enormous health problems, metabolic health problems in the body. And he feels is at the bottom of a lot of this rise in emotional and mental health problems as well, along with mobile phones and people losing. He said a third of Americans don't know how to cook. I'm so tempted to swear. Isn't that just effing amazing? A third of Americans do not know how to cook food. This is one of the basic essentials for life. So he says the food industry holds them to hostage. The food industry can feed them whatever it likes. It gets people addicted on these ultra-processed foods, are very addictive. And he's saying this is the main thing we need to do as a society now is to just get rid of these ultra-processed foods. They are creating so much ill health. Unfortunately, our British government, there was an initiative to, I can't remember quite what was it. Was it to tax more highly or to label, high-fat, high-sugar foods, something like that. They've just put it back for 2 years. So short-sighted. Meanwhile, the NHS is struggling, completely overworked, needing tens of billions more pounds to function efficiently. Today, the government announcing they're going to train double the number of doctors and nurses. Well, great, but as the medics are saying, this is not the only thing that's needed. They need more pay for one thing, particularly the nurses and some of the lower paid people. Junior doctors, some of the top get very well paid, but the ones at the bottom get paid pretty poorly. But also they need to be practicing effective medicine instead of just putting sticking plasters on, and getting more satisfaction from their practice of medicine. So very interesting talk by Dr. Robert Lustig. What I'm seeing is that so many of the ideas that Michio Kushi and Evelyn Kushi and others were saying in the 1980s actually are now becoming mainstream. Another very good talk on cancer or on preventing cancer, and by a doctor from America, a naturopathic doctor. And I almost fell off my chair. The first thing she said was, healing ourselves and healing our planet go hand in hand. I remember hearing Michio say this back in the 1980s. If we want to heal ourselves, we first have to heal the planet. We have to heal our soils. We have to heal our air. We have to heal our water, because this is what our health depends on, is on our environment. Here she was giving this very holistic view, and running through all the ways that one could, prevent cancer, as well as, support people healing from cancer. People who, can't remember if it was a specific cancer, or whether it was cancer in general, people that exercise well, maybe in breast cancer, people who after having breast cancer and being given the all clear through whatever healing track they took, if they exercise regularly, a 46% less chance of a recurrence if they're doing some really good exercise on a regular daily basis. Our society, for all its bloody mobile phones and computers and technology, has been distracted from the basics of life: how to eat, how to create deep, loving, positive relationships with other people, how to exercise, how to enjoy our work, how to enjoy our lives, how to get out in nature. We're just at such a weird time in history where we're so clever. People want to go to the moon and the depths of the sea, and yet modern society is not understanding the basics of life. And what excites me so much is that macrobiotics has 3-4 generations of experimenting and really developing a really good practical understanding of how we can keep ourselves well, how can we develop ourselves, how can we develop our consciousness, how can we connect with nature, connect with spirit, how can we create warm, loving relationships, how can we create community. It's these basics of life that modern society is losing, and the planet's paying for it, and also humans are paying for it in terms of physical and emotional, mental suffering. You could say spiritual suffering as well, because it's so natural that we feel a connection to spirit and inspired by spirit and get spiritual energy. We get energy from food, we get energy from other people, we get energy from nature, and we get energy from spirit. And if you cut out the spirit, then we are deprived of energy and life and connection. Just amazing that this really holistic view is coming into Western medicine. And the other very interesting thing is, for me, I've been pulling my hair out, you can tell, for the last 30 years, about how Western medicine has become so detailed. You've got an ear problem, let's look at the ear. Got an eye problem, let's look at the eye. You've got a liver problem, let's look at the liver. Got a brain problem, look at the brain. Let's look at the DNA. Let's look at the most detailed part of cells. Surely the answer to disease lies in DNA. Well, in a very small number of cases, yes, but in 99% of cases, it's much more to do with people's diet, lifestyle, consciousness, emotions. What they're beginning to do is think out in a systems way. This whole thing of the microbiome, what's going on in your gut affects the brain. How amazing! I always remember my early 1980s, one of my first classes with Michio, brain, he did a spiral, brain and gut connected. If gut's not working, brain not work. And here it is, lots of scientific proof for this age-old wisdom that's in macrobiotics, Oriental medicine, philosophy, etc. So they begin to realize, yes, the gut interacts with the nervous system and with the immune system and with other systems in the body. And they're developing this more systems approach, this more holistic approach, which has been part of macrobiotics and Oriental medicine for at least several thousand years. So still a certain amount of frustration. It feels like there is so much in the macrobiotic Oriental approach to health that would so benefit society at large at the moment. And how do we get it out there? So I'm also quite excited because I'm talking with the people running the College of Medicine and Integrated Healthcare about giving some talks. They give talks to their membership. The membership is not only open to doctors, it's open to anybody. So I gave the link in my text. Do have a look at it. Do join it. I think the first year is well, I got the first year free, but it's only £30 a year, and it opens you to access to various seminars and things. So I'm discussing with them about giving some seminars. It sounds like they really need one on how to avoid burnout and what to do if you do get burnt out. Again, Oriental medicine. I've seen so many people with ME, chronic fatigue. Macrobiotics has so much to offer this group of people. This burnt out medical fraternity on how to look after our energy levels better, with our understanding of kidney energy, spleen energy, etc. So that probably gives you, a bit of a insight and into what's going on. I'm very excited, and I'm also very excited because it feels like there's almost certainly a good entrance for me to start talking within these fields. I know people in America have been for quite some time. People in Portugal have for a long time. The British medical establishment has been very conservative and blocked and narrow-minded, but I'm glad to say it looks like it's really beginning to open up. So I'm excited about the possibilities of getting our age-old traditional macrobiotic knowledge out to a much wider range of people. Okay, thank you for listening. And please do help yourselves. Helping the world starts helping ourselves. We run a whole range of different courses. 1 day, 5 days. Our 5-day Looking After Your Health, if you haven't done it, is just an amazing course for learning to look after your health through food, exercise, emotional healing, lifestyle changes, and learning good cooking skills. This is where it's at now. So please, check out our courses in this newsletter and come along to learn some more about how to optimize your life. Okay, take care.